Hi everybody, this is Karen Palmer and I am your host of Living on Purpose TV. This is the place that you are going to get all the tips and tools, the action steps, and all the things that you need to really live your life with more purpose and passion. I feel so honored and grateful to have these amazing guests that take the time out of their day to share their wisdom, to share all of their incredible steps that they've taken in their life to make their life more purposeful and passionate. You guys know that I made a birthday wish in December that we have global kindness go viral. You know, the universe is pretty amazing, and when we start to trust and know that we are being guided, we really do step into miracles. So a miracle happened. I was watching on the television about this man who was going around the world and was living on the kindness of strangers. And I made a decision that I would just reach out to him, and if he reached back, then that would be a divine assignment. And I believe that that's the way that the world works. When we connect with one another, there's ways that we can have invisible helpers that make things happen. So, long story short, he called me back and gave me his cell phone number, and I called him and asked him to be on the show, and he said yes, and I was so thrilled. And so today I have the host of The Amazing Adventures of a Nobody from the Travel Channel, and the incredible author of The Kindness Diaries. And this is my new dear friend, Leon, and we're going to be doing some amazing stuff together. And I'm so, so grateful, so excited. Please always follow your heart. Please always listen to the guidance that you have that is telling you that there's something more and that you can do more in the world. If you want to spread kindness, get out there and do it. You can do it in your area. All we need to do is have each person in every corner of the world do what they can, and then we transform the planet. So, very excited to have my dear friend Leon here. And Leon, let's hear your story. Let's hear. I love your story. I mean, I am just so incredibly inspired by you. And it's just like when I contacted you, the sweetest thing you said was, always follow your dream. And that meant so much to me. It was like such a confirmation to know that somebody as successful as you would take the time to talk to me, and I appreciate that so, so much. It means the world to me. And so I want to ask you a quick question about why do you do what you're doing, and how is it purposeful to you? How do you feel it's purposeful, and what is it that makes it passionate for you?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's always an honor to be asked to appear on a show, and you have a wonderful energy. We've never actually met, so we've met. We've just spoken on the phone. You know, I used to be a broker in the City of London, and I found myself to be very disconnected, deeply depressed, and not really having a sense of purpose. And I found like I was living somebody else's life.
Wow.
Yeah, and I watched the movie The Motorcycle Diaries, which inspired me to have faith that there was another way to live. The Motorcycle Diaries is about Che Guevara traveling across South America, relying on the kindness of strangers, and also about living from his place of true purpose. And I watched that movie and I realized that I couldn't spend any more time sitting behind a slab of wood working in a way for other people. And I quit my job and I went traveling. And I came up with an idea where I was going to travel around America relying on the kindness of strangers. So I kind of took Che's idea and morphed it into the American version. And I found such a genuine level of kindness and humanity in the American people that I met, and it really opened up my heart. And I realized that there was no really going back for me. I couldn't go and sit behind a desk anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with sitting behind a desk. You know, a lot of inspiring people sit behind desks and they inspire the world. Just for me, I couldn't sit behind a desk. That wasn't my life. And I wanted to go out and live my life. And in living my life, I hoped, kind of accidentally actually, because I didn't actually think that this would happen, but now I hope that by doing that, I can hopefully inspire someone to think, well, you know, if that bald Englishman can go out and live a full life, then so can I. You know, so can I. I can do it as well.
It
And I
truly
was
inspired me.
yeah, and I was inspired by so many other people, by books, by movies, by individuals who helped me in my life. So if I can just kind of give someone a nudge to go and do something that they had a lot of fear about doing, but ultimately will inspire them and others to live greater lives, then great.
You absolutely have done that, Leon. You absolutely have done that. You lit a fire under me, and you helped me remember that there is possibility, there's endless possibility, and that everywhere I looked after I started noticing how kind people are, I started realizing, you know, everywhere you look, when you focus on, whatever you focus on the most is what you bring about the most. And so, God, that was so incredible for me just to, and then to read your book and to just find ways that I could think as I was listening to your journey, just realizing that, you know, life is about connection. It's all about connection. And the sad part is so many people do get so caught up in the disconnect. And so, yes, you have definitely done that for me especially. And I'm sure for millions of other people who've been able to be touched by your story. But has it always been this inner burning desire for you? Did you ever have a point in your life that you were stumbling and you weren't sure exactly what was going to be the next step, but then somehow you were able to turn that into a stepping stone? Is there any story or any kind of situation with your business or with your life that you might want to share with us?
Sure. I mean, you know, it's easy for me to sit here now and say, okay, I quit my job, I went and traveled the world, I wrote books, and here I am talking to you. But life isn't so simple, and sometimes, often, we struggle, and I'm no different to everyone else. It's not an easy path, and it's, you know, we talk about how powerful and how healing human connection is. Yet so many of us don't have that capacity to connect with people. And I talk for myself here, but sometimes I find it's easier for me to connect with strangers than it is for me to connect with the people that I love. And that's a challenge. In the old days, I couldn't connect with anyone. At least now I can connect with some people.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they've definitely been good moments and bad moments. And I'm a big fan of Winston Churchill, and Winston Churchill had many very, very powerful quotes. And one of his quotes was, never, ever, ever give up. So even when you hit a bump in the road, you just keep going. You really just keep going, you never give up. And another thing I'd like to say is that one of the greatest motivators for what I have done is really pain. And pain, as they say, is the greatest motivator. If I wasn't in pain when I was in London sitting behind my desk, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, because I would still be doing that. I would still be in my comfort zone. I would still be doing something that I didn't truly love. But when the pain gets too much, sometimes, not sometimes, I'd say more often than not, you get inspired to do something to change that and to get out of that pain. And oftentimes good things come from pain.
Yeah, that's a really great point. That's a really great point. I know that my life has been a lot of I've had a lot of painful experiences, and now I can use those wounds to turn into wisdom so I can help other women and teenage girls and help them to have more self-confidence. And I couldn't possibly have done that myself if I hadn't been on the journey and experienced it so that I could really be empathetic. So that's a
Mm.
really, really great point. And but what I love about what you're doing in the world is that you're helping people who are thinking to themselves, well, I'm just one person. What can I do? Like I can't go out and make a difference, so maybe I won't bother. What would you give as somebody who is sitting here listening to this show and is saying, oh my God, I'm so inspired by him. Like, what can I do? What would be something that, would be an action step that people could take this show and write down their own little notebook of ideas and then just jump in and start? What would you say to somebody who was asking you that question?
Well, I'd say there are three things really. I'd say the first thing is to truly find your passion. Whatever your passion is, whether it's traveling around the world, whether it's opening up an orphanage, whether it's opening up a bakery, whether it's having kids, whatever it is, it's vital to find your passion. Because without the fuel of your passion, things move far, far slower. That's the first thing, so find your passion. I would say the second thing, and it's not so easy to find your passion, but let's assume you find it. The second thing is to commit fully to living your passion. So let's talk about me for one moment and say that my passion is traveling, my passion is connecting, and I have decided to make a full commitment to living that passion by traveling and by connecting and by gaining wisdom from others and hopefully imparting some wisdom myself. And the third thing is to share your passion.
Hmm.
And there's no point in traveling the world, or there's no point in living your passion if you can't go out and share it with others, because that process of sharing is what inspires someone else to go out and live their life. So it's really about finding your passion, living your passion, and most importantly, is sharing your passion.
Oh, that's a beautiful quote. We should definitely put that down for you. That's an awesome, so simple to remember. Just think about that, guys. Think about that. Those are 3 steps that you can take and that you could really apply and go out there and really get clear about what it is, super, super clear about what you're passionate about. Really think about that. Take that time and grab your notebook and let those ideas just flow. And really trust that that there's a beautiful message that you have to share and that only you can do it. Just think of that in those terms, only you can do it. Only you have had the experiences that you have had. And so only you can bring this beautiful dream to reality. It's been placed in your heart for you to achieve it. So let's just think about that for a minute. And I'd love to hear, just maybe you could share a little bit with us about how people can reach you, and also when your show airs so that people can watch your show, The Amazing Adventures of a Nobody. What a great name. What a awesome show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that show and how people can watch it?
Sure. Well, The Amazing Adventures of a Nobody was actually the first show I did. I did a couple of seasons of it where I traveled around the world on $5 a day. But my new show is called The Kindness Diaries, which is basically the book, but in TV form, and that's coming out in the middle of the year. But to contact me, simple. I think it's there.
Yeah, you're pointing at it.
Yeah. LeonLogothetis.com. There's a contact page, and I very, very often, in fact, always respond to people that send me an email. So
Is your Twitter handle the same?
the Twitter handle is at Leon Logothetis. I know it's a very long, weird name that probably no one is going to remember because sometimes even I forget it. But it is at Leon Logothetis.
Perfect. And then on Facebook?
And everything is on the web. Everything's on the site.
Okay, awesome. And then the show that you're talking about, the Kindness Diaries, when is that supposed to air?
It's hopefully going to air sometime in the middle of this year.
And will that be on the Travel Channel also?
No, it's not the Travel Channel.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Okay, well, perfect. Let's keep in touch, and let's try to do a monthly hangout where we can keep in touch and connect and hear about all the great things that you're doing, and so that we can really make this an opportunity for more people to think about how they can share their passion. So this was wonderful. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend the time with us and share your wisdom, share your passion, and really, honestly, so excited about your new show, and we will be 100% supporting you. And when anything that you're doing happens, just shoot me a little email, let me know, and I will post it and promote it. It's all about using technology for the greater good. That's what I'm all about. I think that when we find ways to really understand that technology is bigger than all of us, that we can really tap into something that's bigger than all of us. And that's what's so exciting about using social media and using technology and being able to help other people learn how to use these tools so that they can get out there and share their message. So I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. And now you are a producer for this show, right? Was that correct?
Yes, that's one of the things I did. I was also the chap who was riding the motorbike.
I was also the chap. Yes. So, all right. So we're going to end our episode here, and I want to thank you so much. That was a wonderful, wonderful interview. I feel so inspired and excited about all the great things that we can accomplish. There's so many things, and I believe that when we work together, we're all part of the solution, right? We're all part of the solution. And when we all start to work together, we accomplish twice as much. So this is a beautiful, beautiful partnership, and I feel really, really honored and blessed to have this time with you. So is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
I'd just like to say, everyone deserves to go out and live their dreams, everyone, and don't let anyone tell you any different.
Awesome. Perfect message to end on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a great, great week.